I and others who do work like what I do are trying to help us all evolve into. So, but I don't think we're there yet culturally. You don't see it on sitcoms. You don't see it in the dramas you watch on TV. You don't see it in the movies. What you see in the media that most of us consume, most of the media, is an enforcement of the violent domination model. And that's the language and those are the scripts that are front and center because they're the ones we're absorbing. It takes a lot of conscious, intentional effort to swim against that stream. But I'm here to say, I think it's really important for us to swim against that stream. I think it's very, very important for us to be consciously getting out of that river, actually, because the momentum towards violence and polarization and division and right and wrong and grandiosity is getting stronger and more dangerous, because in many ways, I was just saying this to, many of you know that I talk to my best friend every morning at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. or whatever, like we are on the phone every morning. And this morning we were talking about, I said, there are so many things I'm seeing on social media that feel like we're 2-3 steps away from legitimized genocide. Like this, yes. Everything that I see that has some smack of, well, you're either with us or against us. You're either in our group or out of our group. You're either good like us or bad like them. Anything that I am seeing that has that flavor smacks to me of dehumanization, violence, and legitimized violence. And it's happening first at the psychological level, where it is the easiest to begin intervening. It's not going to be easy to intervene when people start picking up their weapons and physically assaulting one another, which has also started. So I feel deep concern about where we're headed. And this is partly why I really want to keep running these groups and doing this work, because we need to be banding together to stop turning on each other. We've got to stop turning on each other. The problems we're solving are too complex for us to waste energy fighting each other. We need to be including more points of view, listening deeply, and actually moving forward together. Each one of us begins doing the psychological, intentional consciousness work and skill development of saying, I am going to stand for something different. I'm not just going to get swept on this stream of good people and bad people. It's exceedingly dangerous thinking. It's also incredibly important to me that we begin, how can I put this? Like, when we start thinking, it's, even when I use the word like genocide, like it's genocide, it's the end of the world, it's Lord of the Flies. When I start putting those images out there, our collective attention is on those images, and we will begin moving in this direction. It amplifies that. And I'm not talking about being in denial. I'm not a fan of just pretending nothing is happening and like putting on blinders. And like, there's a version of that I find very distasteful personally. But I think we need to get very, very good at imagining what would work better, imagining what we do stand for, and beginning to live it. And I think we have a responsibility to harness our attention to stay conscious and aware and present to the shit that's going down in the world. Like this is not about like minimizing and turning a blind eye and pretending it's not there. I think we are invited to sit with the pain, the suffering, the injustice, the inequity, the violence, the hostility, the righteousness, whatever it is, to learn how to be with it. That's one task, is to see it clearly, to be present to it, to sit with the suffering and the pain. And the second task is to keep at least half of us firmly grounded in the kinds of communities that we want more of, in a vision of direct, kind, inclusive, forward-moving, moving together, curious, learning, growing, intellectual humility, living into your values, whatever it is that I'm just throwing out random things, but I think there's a way of being that we will need to embody that is a counterbalance to the fracturing, the fragmenting, the polarizing, the judging, the criticizing, the violence, the psychological and physical violence that seems to want to erupt. There needs to be a healing force to counterbalance it. And I would say that everybody on a call like this are the people that I would like to inspire and help and support to live into being that, because we need more of that.